ESPN welcomes you to a special presentation of the United Football League on ABC.
Welcome to Daytona Beach. The roar of the nearby famed speedway now gets replaced by the pressure of postseason football, as the UFL playoffs are presented by New Era, the official headwear and jersey partner of the UFL. Today, it's the semifinals to see who advances to the 2026 United Bowl. The DC Defenders have come on the road to face the #1 seed, the Orlando Storm. Interesting quarterback matchup we have for you. The favorite to win the league MVP, Jack Plummer, he leads Orlando. Statistically, he's been nearly flawless this year. Now, got to go out there and win a championship over the next couple weeks. On the other side is Jason Bean, former Kansas Jayhawk, took over for Jordan Ta'amu, the starter who got injured. Can Bean pull off this upset? What's unique is this playoff matchup has the ultimate scheduling quirk. 3 straight weeks now, Jordan Rodgers, that these two teams have met. Orlando took week 9 and week 10.
It's hard enough to beat a team twice in a row. Orlando going to try to do it 3 times. Both games were one-score games. DC lost last week because of the turnovers. Jason Bean threw 2 interceptions. They had a punt block. The game fell apart in the fourth quarter, but it was a tie ball game with the #1 seed in that fourth quarter. I expect another close one.
There are your scores from the last 2 weeks. Now they do it again, and here's what your playoff Sunday looks like. We get things started right here. The #1 seed, 8-2 Orlando, looking to advance. Their head coach, Anthony Beck, hey, could he end up playing his old team? St. Louis is the #2 seed. They host Louisville, very good Louisville team, later tonight. As we say good afternoon, thrilled you're with us. Joe Tessitore alongside Jordan Rodgers. Sam Acho and Tom Luganville will be our field level analysts for this playoff game here. How rare is it to have pro football teams play 3 in a row? It's only happened one other time. You got to go back to 1943 in the NFL, and it was also a Washington team involved, as Washington avenged 2 previous losses to the New York Giants to win a playoff game. You want to see what it looked like, Jordan Rodgers, back then? Slinging Sammy Baugh. Pro football teams playing 3 straight. He was the winning quarterback for Washington. The Giants closed out the regular season with a couple of wins. Then Sammy Baugh led Washington to the playoff win in the 3rd game. All right, so now let's get to this DC team. Jason Bean is the quarterback. Played for Louisville earlier this year, so the unique scheduling, this is going to be his 5th game against Orlando.
Pretty unbelievable. In the 2 of those 5 that he played in and started, one of them for Louisville, they went into overtime. He threw for 352 yards, 3 touchdowns, was exceptional. His best game of the year. And then last week, 116 yards on the ground. He is such a dual threat athlete. That to me is the X factor of this game. Can he get things going with his feet? That's when DC is going to be really dangerous.
Also, DC has brought back their pass rush specialist from last year, Andre Mintz. This guy was working a high-paying career job, and now he's out here in the playoffs.
You know, most people use their paid time off to go to Mexico, go get some palm trees, some island weather. He's down here in Florida suiting it up. 2 weeks paid time off. He's like, I got 2 weeks for a playoff run. Let's put it together. Shannon Harris texted him last week, said, hey, you still got some in you? Because we got 2 more weeks we can sure use you.
He's going to be going after Jack Plummer. Jack Plummer's been one of the great stories in the UFL this year, the starting quarterback for Orlando. We will be shocked if he's not named the MVP next week.
And I think he absolutely will be. 17 touchdowns to just 1 interception. He's been the best player in this league, wire to wire. And he's really the reason the UFL is so important for guys like him. He sat behind Bryce Young and Andy Dalton with the Carolina Panthers for a couple years and just hadn't had the ball back in his hands in a while. Now he's got film out there that shows he can execute at a high level, and he's also got weapons galore. Chris Rowland, the former DC Defender, on his side now is the most dynamic playmaker with the ball in his hands, and he's had back-to-back touchdowns against his former team. He'll play a big role again today.
And let's go down to the field to Sam Acho. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon. I'm here with Anthony Becht, head coach of the Orlando Storm. Coach Becht, you've been here before. What is your message to the team today?
Yeah, it's all about finishing the message, finishing the mission, and make sure these guys go out there and make plays. This is their time, man. They put all the work and the effort in. We're on that mountain right now. We're 10 feet from the top, but it's vertical. Toes, the claws of your fingers, you got to get to the top or you die. And that's the mentality we're going out on the field today. I can't wait to watch these guys play.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Sam.
Luke's over to you.
Well, Coach, they say third time's a charm. Now, I know you've dissected this thing 6 ways from Sunday. What gives you confidence that today's outcome is going to be different?
Well, the one thing, these guys had another great week of practice, preparation, right? And we get an opportunity today to right our wrongs. And these guys, man, they know what this type of football is about. It's playoff football. It's no longer a regular season. We buried that, put a tombstone on it. And now we're back to DC football. And that's kind of the way we're going to get back to our home fans in the championship game.
All right, thanks. Good luck.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Shannon Harris, who led DC to the UFL championship a year ago after taking over in the preseason. Anthony Beck, who's had so much success in spring pro football, but looking to break through to a championship. Well, we're here in Daytona Beach, Florida. They had to have some movement to this game because of a conflict with FIFA World Cup Soccer. They thought they were going to have this game in Ohio, and then a last-second decision was made earlier this week to say, you know what? No, look at those fans. We want this nearby the Orlando fans, so this game being played at Daytona Stadium with a good crowd as the postseason is underway in the UFL. Azukaman on the return as he spins free and is finally corralled just beyond the 40-yard line. Ball came out at the end, and it does stay indeed with DC. So Jason Bean start at Kansas. As we mentioned, playing Orlando now for 5 times. He told us the other day, it's a fun challenge. I haven't beaten them, but it's a fun challenge and a great opportunity.
And an extremely talented quarterback, physically gifted, has a really strong arm, has been a little inconsistent as a passer, needs to protect the football, but as I said in the open, his legs are the X factor. You'll see a lot of zone reads, and especially on drop back pass scenarios, you got to keep an eye on him. He will take off and get the edge and hurt you big time.
Yeah, those legs had 116 rush yards against Orlando a week ago. Here's Bean, gets the ball out quickly and gets it complete to Braylon Sanders. Let's look at the impact players presented by New Era.
Yeah, for DC, it starts with the ground game. Deion Jackson is the best running back in all of the UFL. Gave him a little break last week, only played the first quarter, so expect him to get a lot of touches today. Cornell Powell, a guy that will touch the ball frequently. And on the other side, the linebackers for Orlando, they got a key on stopping Deion Jackson all day.
2nd and 3, Jackson, he is run down, and that was Keyshawn Banks with the tackle for Orlando.
Boy, Fred Kais, the offensive coordinator for DC, he was the assistant coach of the year last year. Obviously now without his MVP caliber quarterback in Jordan Ta'amu, the offense has changed a little bit. This is an offense that went at their best with Jordan Ta'amu. A lot of deep shots downfield. Vertical passing game was their bread and butter. Now it's going to be how many different ways can you run the football with Deion Jackson and Jason Bean.
3rd down and 3. Bean, and he's going to have the first down. Azukama from Texas Tech with the reception.
I love this start for Jason Bean. That was one thing that Shannon Harris mentioned. Want to run the football and get the quick game going early. He was a little inaccurate on those slant throws last week, already on the money with 2 of them.
Jackson gets it inside the 40, tackled by Buggs. Isaiah Buggs, the former Alabama Crimson Tide defensive lineman with another big year.
Yeah, Donnie Abraham's group is one of the best in the UFL. Numbers-wise, they give up a lot of yards, but they are the best where it counts. #1 in the red zone, #1 third down, and #1 scoring defense in the UFL. So they'll let you move the ball, but they're really good when it counts.
Bean with time, threw it a little bit to the outside of Cornell Powell.
Tell you, Jordan, they're starting to squeeze that option route. He's trying to sneak it into a small window. He's got to be cognizant of that back, Deion Jackson, being out there in the flat. Just play pitch and catch and let him do the rest.
And he's got to be very careful with his eyes. Orlando keyed on his eyes last week, got an interception. Already, he's staring things down early in the quick game.
Play clock counting down on 3rd and 7. And they're going to have to use a timeout. Good crowd here as they move this game to Daytona Beach, but the supporters of this Orlando Storm team making a little bit of noise. Year #1 for this franchise in
we're
Orlando.
picking up all the noise, like literally right now. Yeah, everything.
Looks like some
Yes.
issues with the headsets on the DC side
Yeah,
because
no,
of
I
that
just told him,
noise.
give us the play.
Yeah, guys, they're getting a lot of chatter between the offensive and defensive in both sides of the ball's headsets.
And that was just a scenario on that 3rd down where Jason Bean was trying to check the play. They were in too high. They only had 5 guys in the box, so he was trying to check to a run, just ran out of play clock. Remember, just his 2nd start here with DC after being acquired midseason from Louisville, so still working on some communication and shaking off some rust.
3rd down and 7 after the timeout. Bean with time, and Bean will get it complete as Kuti shakes free is inside the 20-yard line. Well done by Jason Bean. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down on this opening drive.
Boy, first off, watch the protection in the pocket that Jason Bean's going to get. Very comfortable, throws a great ball. Actually anticipated that one because there was a lot of contact for Kiki QT at the top of his route. That is another very confident throw from Jason Bean, and I love this start for him already.
Jackson, he is met after a gain of about 2.
Yeah, this is an area in the red zone where DC really struggled last week, just 2 of 6. Obviously, traditionally throughout the year with Jordan Ta'amu, this was an area where they were very successful. And this is an area that if I'm Fred Kais, I want to use Jason Bean's legs, use his athleticism as a weapon down here, force those linebackers to account for him in the run game.
Second and 8. Bean, a lot of traffic, and somehow got it complete to Briley Moore.
I mentioned earlier that these underneath players for Orlando are watching the eyes of Jason Bean. Watch Darian Butler there, almost picks that one off just because he's watching where Bean's head and his eyes are going. At some point, Bean is going to have to look guys off. Even in the quick game, where your eyes go first can pause a linebacker for a fraction of a second, and that's all you need, especially down here in the red zone where the windows get so tight.
3rd down and 2. Ball on the 5-yard line. Extra offensive lineman comes in as a lead blocker as a flag comes down immediately. That was Jahari Branch who was trying to be the lead blocker. And Mauga able to make the tackle. We'll check on the flag.
I mean, it's going to be
There is
30,
no foul on the play. The player is properly reported. It's 4th down.
Field goal, field goal.
Yeah, Gunnar Britton there, one of those guys that had to declare. He's a guy they just signed this week. Had been with DC for a number of years, but opted out and retired before the season. And him and Andre Mintz, 2 DC guys that came out of retirement to try to help out for this playoff run.
So Matt McCrane will come on to try to open up our scoring here in this UFL semifinal game. Flag is down as you saw a lot of movement at the line of scrimmage. It's 4th down and 4 for what it's worth.
Offside in the neutral zone at the snap. Defense number 48. The penalties decline. The field goal is good. Timeout on the field.
So they're going to take the 3 points. DC defenders open up the semifinal with a field goal. Jack Plummer, he has been sensational all year long. He takes the field for the postseason for the Storm. Next. Said that they wanted to bring clarity to what happened there. They had claimed that a field goal was accepted when we noted the penalty. Instead, DC says, no, we're accepting the penalty. So it'll be a 4th down and a long one. Take the 3 points off the board, and instead, they're bringing in a jumbo package of extra offensive linemen, as well as putting Briley Moore, the tight end, in the backfield. and they will go for it on 4th down, accepting the penalty and declining the field goal.
And watch the legs of Jason Bean here on a keeper to the right.
This is 4th down. Orlando feels that they made the stop. It'll depend on the mark.
Boy, it was a read for Jason Bean. He's got the opportunity to pull this if he wants. And he's reading backside linebacker flow.
It's a 1st down.
So he's reading these linebackers running this way. And that means he's going to give the ball to his running back. It's the right read, just doesn't get the press. Excuse me, doesn't get the push that he wanted up front there.
So Deion Jackson with just enough of an effort to gain 1 yard, and it's a 1st down. And straight ahead goes Jackson for a touchdown. So the penalty offered the chance to take the 3 points off the board. They convert the 4th down, and Deion Jackson gets DC on the board. An 11-play scoring drive to open up the game.
And I love the decision by Shannon Harris to roll the dice on 4th and short. Remember, last week, they started the first quarter with 2 interceptions. They had no momentum, no confidence in that game. They had to find a way to find it and get back in. Now, they start with a drive. They go for it on 4th. They pick it up, and they punch it in for a touchdown.
Jordan, you talked about Jason Bean and what he could offer early on, what a difference a week makes. He was 4 of 5 for 48 yards, managing that drive, and then the 4th down conversion, and Jackson capping it with a touchdown run.
Boy, and you saw the influence that a mobile quarterback has on both those plays. Not just the 4th down pickup, but here, the punch in. Everybody backside with eyes on Jason Bean. Concerned if he's going to keep it. Michael Maietti there, the center, with a great lead block. Gets all the way into the end zone. Shannon Harris loves it.
Maietti, who graded out as one of the best centers in the UFL last year in helping DC win a championship, helps them to open up the postseason this year. UFL semifinal. The winners today will advance to the United Bowl, and it'll be in DC. DC trying to get back home and play on their home field. That'll be next Saturday, June 13th, and we will have coverage of that right here on ABC.
And this is going to be something to watch for Anthony Becht and his defense, because like that 4th down play that I was showing you, the linebackers are flowing where Jason Bean is. So maybe that really starts to open things for Deion Jackson. And DC the last 2 games has ran for over 200 yards in each of those. They've had their way on the ground. This is exactly the start DC wanted.
Well, when they're overcommitting too, Jordan, it makes the read for Jason Bean very, very clear on whether to give or pull.
Simple formula if it happens that way, and Bean did a good job of managing the 11-play drive to open things up. Here's Jashaun Corbin on the return for the Storm. Corbin, really nice return as he's out past the 40-yard line. And that sets things up for Jack Plummer, who was named All-UFL this week. Of course, the front runner for the league MVP, the league's leading passer. 17 touchdowns framed against just 1 interception.
Yeah, and this offense has been so explosive through the air, but miraculously, and the most impressive thing is how efficient. 255 straight attempts without an interception from Jack Plummer. He's been so good at protecting the football.
And he's going to get it complete to roll and to open up the game. And a late flag comes in. Chris Coit is our referee.
After the play, personal foul, defense number 7. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. First down.
That's Joe Wallace, the nose tackle, in his 4th year with DC.
Joe Wallace, one of those guys that plays with so much emotion, and that's just completely accidental from Joe Wallace. He's doing a good job trailing the play there, just catches the helmet.
That's a ticky-tack call,
yeah,
guys.
I agree.
I don't like that flag one bit.
A great field position here. Second play for Orlando.
Catch, quarter catch. 189. What's up?
Play action. Plummer downfield and just beyond Chris Rowland. Let's take a look at today's impact players presented by New Era.
Yeah, Chris Rowland's one of them, and Elijah Badger, the other receiver for Orlando, is the other. This is the heavyweight matchup. Two of the best receivers in the UFL versus two former first-round draft picks in the NFL, DeAndre Baker and Garyon Connolly. This is the most talented secondary, in my opinion, in the UFL. Maybe not the best numbers-wise, but when they man you up, they have the skill set to go toe-to-toe. That'll be the matchup that dictates this game.
2nd and 10. This is Dotson. And he is met and just trying to get his way back to the line of scrimmage. That was Sam Kidd, the strong safety. It was a star with James Madison. Leads the team, leads DC with 50 tackles.
And another star in the making is Colin Thompson, the play caller for Orlando. He's a guy that is young in his career, had never called plays before this year. Remember, Orlando lost their play caller, Kyle Caskey, to the Vikings in late February. Right before camp, Colin Thompson took over play calling, and he has been absolutely fantastic. Really close relationship with Jack Plummer, and it shows.
3rd and 10. They go underneath to Rowland, but Rowland is wrapped up. He's so dangerous when he has just a little bit of space, but Curtis Jacobs and the defense did a nice job there.
Boy, and if Curtis Jacobs doesn't make that tackle, Chris Rowland is off to the races. Blake Baker is an aggressive play caller. He's willing to take chances, so a lot of times this defense won't be so traditionally or fundamentally sound. He's willing to take risks. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. That time it did.
Michael Lance with a 47-yard field goal attempt. And that is good. Little time to judge it from the officials, but they said it is good. So Lance puts 3 on the board, 7-3 here. Semifinal action. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your ABC stations.
Back here in Daytona, DC with an early lead. This is all going to be about Jason Bean and his athleticism. Last week, Orlando didn't do a good job of containing him on drop back passes. You see Keyshawn Banks takes an inside move. Can't do that against a quarterback that can run a 4.5 40 and take off and hurt you. They did this one too many times last week, and that really led to the success that got DC back into the game late as Jason Bean really started to find his footing, no pun intended.
DC, who has lost 4 straight. This team has lost 4 straight entering the postseason. But, of course, experience of winning a championship with a staff that has continuity and having to overcome now the loss of their star quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu, with Jason Bean at quarterback. Look good early on. 7-3. Winner advances to the 2026 United Bowl. Louisville and St. Louis playing later tonight. And then the United Bowl, the championship, is next Saturday, June 13th, right here on ABC. Valladay on the return as he weaves his way out towards the 35-yard line.
Well, Jason Bean did a great job in the quick passing game on that last drive. You see there 4 or 5, 48 yards. I mentioned his eyes are going to be really important as Orlando's starting to key on that. But this is a DC team that is used to creating explosive plays downfield. How much confidence does Fred Kais have in his quarterback, who, remember, threw an interception on a deep throw early in the game last week, to take a couple of those shots and try to soften this Orlando defense up a little bit?
Yeah, threw an interception on the second pass of the game last week. Then had a very costly mistake in the 3rd quarter when they were trying to bring it in for a score. It was a 3rd and goal, and it was returned for a pick 6. Bean was incomplete as Sanders couldn't hold on to it.
This was that drive I was talking about. Great completion there to Keke Coutee on a 3rd down, kept the drive alive. The quick passing game got him into the red zone, and then it was the run game that's been their bread and butter the last 2 weeks against this Orlando defense. Deion Jackson punching it in for the touchdown.
Second down. This is Jackson, and touchdown run earlier. This time he is taken down by Fabian Lovett, former Florida State defensive tackle.
And the reason I mention the shots and the explosive plays downfield, because right now if you watch this Orlando defense, those safeties, Mish Powell, he's walking all the way down into the box. They are expecting run on early downs. So they're loading the box and they're forcing these 3rd and longs, not where DC wants to be with Jason Bean.
And you can see it here on 3rd and 7. As Briley Moore shifts over, good looking tight end. Here's Bean on 3rd down. Trying to extend the play. He's always dangerous with his legs, and you get a glimpse of it right there. DC now 3 of 4 on 3rd downs.
And this is what Orlando can't do. Watch Chris Garrett here rush past the distance of the quarterback, right? You cannot try to win with speed on the outside because Jason Bean will step up and then step out and hurt you with his legs. So as a pass rusher, Orlando has to focus on being unselfish. Don't even try to get to him. Just try to keep him in the pocket. That's what Anthony Beck said. We want him to operate from the pocket. We can't let him get a lane like he just did.
Trying to get the ball out quickly, and it was incomplete, trying to connect with Powell. But Shannon Harris had a conversation with us the other day, and it was one of the things he said immediately, that Jason Bean has the legs to erase some mistakes. That is the great benefit of what he brings. Remember, replacing Jordan Ta'amu, who is out injured for the season. Ta'amu was the UFL Championship Game MVP a year ago with 390 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he had this team in position again. Now here's Bean, and here's a shot downfield. And it is incomplete, looking for Braylon Sanders.
This is such a great throw from Jason Bean. He's going to get a little stutter from Braylon Sanders, and he's their deep threat. He's the guy they want to go to, and that is right on the money. That's now 2 drops from Braylon Sanders early in this game, with Brandon Sebastian just a step behind Sanders. That is one that I know I'm biased as a quarterback, but you got to bring that one down.
They're down in 10. Bean gets it complete for a 1st down to Coutee. Keke Coutee with the reception.
And this is a big-time throw. Watch how he layers this football. Gets it up and over the linebacker there to Coutee, right in that soft spot of the single high zone. That ball has got to be high enough, but with enough velocity that the safety's not able to get in on that as well. That is a big-time throw from Jason Bean.
To the former 4th-round draft pick of the Houston Texans. Here's Smith. Abram Smith now. Good cutback inside the 10. Still on his feet and finally dragged down inside the 5 by meters. Abram Smith, the former star of the Sugar Bowl for Baylor, with a big run.
Boy, watch Michael Maietti, the center, 51, get all the way around, pulling, gets his body on Darian Butler, and that springs the hole for Abram Smith. It is so great to see Abram Smith healthy. He's a guy that has struggled staying healthy. Tore his ACL in 2024, missed the entire season. Wasn't himself last year as he recovered from that injury. Now finally healthy, and a great 1-2 punch with Deion Jackson.
It was only a few years ago in a Sugar Bowl in primetime. He had 172 yards in a Baylor win against Ole Miss. The future was so bright, and now you see exactly what he can offer. A timeout here as it's 1st and goal. Upset-minded DC knocking on the door again here in the UFL semifinals. Will it be DC? Will it be Orlando? Orlando enters the postseason on a 4-game win streak. DC, they were red hot. Then their starting quarterback, their star quarterback, injured out for the year. They've lost 4 straight, including 2 in a row to Orlando. But now, here's DC as Anthony Beck, Orlando's head coach, is watching DC run the ball well and potentially add to their lead. Abram Smith in for the score.
Thank you, Zuma.
No, he had a great run to put them in position, and now the 3-yard touchdown here.
Watch the attention backside. A safety and a linebacker backside waiting for Jason Bean. That means one less guy front side for Abram Smith. The run game and the legs, at least the threat so far, the legs of Jason Bean is completely causing fits for this Orlando defense as they try to figure out where to put defenders to account for both.
Yep, here we go.
What a start for DC on the ground.
McCrane for the extra point. 14-3, DC.
Let's go. Come on now, let's go. Come together.
Yeah, just simple zone read. There's not much to it, but it's a numbers game, right? You leave one guy backside for the quarterback. You have one less front side for the running back. And Fred Keiss right now, the offensive coordinator for DC, making it really easy on his quarterback. Jason Bean making his second start for the DC defenders in the biggest moment.
You just don't have enough guys to cover all of the gaps. I mean, you're sitting there and you're saying, okay, if the quarterback can't run, we're playing 11 on 10. But now that we have to account for that, we're actually playing true 11 on 11. You can't be everywhere at once.
51 rush yards already here in this first quarter. 2 plays, over 20 yards on that touchdown drive. They had the reception for 21 yards and then that great-looking 26-yard run. And those came back-to-back before Abram Smith then punched it in.
Boy, and if you're Anthony Beck, you got to be feeling this feels a little too similar to last year. Obviously, he was the head coach of St. Louis. They were the #1 seed, 8-2. DC last year had limped into the playoffs, and they got upset and weren't able to host the championship in their home site. Beck's got to get these guys going.
Corbin on the return. Yeah, last year, DC, the defenders were 6-4. They had 2 straight losses. They lost to Houston and St. Louis, and then they won both their playoff games by double digits. And it was Anthony Beck, then the head coach of St. Louis. It was DC who defeated Anthony Beck's team in the conference championship on the way to the UFL title.
And a lot of coaches we talk to, you know, really focus on the fact that this league is for the players, to help these guys develop, to get another shot. But Anthony Beck minced no words. He is desperate to win a championship and take the next step as a head coach to prove that he can do it at this level and maybe a college or NFL level at some point as well.
Corbin, as he wiggles his way just beyond the 40-yard line.
No, Jordan, I was talking to Coach Beck during pregame, and we were discussing, you know, those 2 St. Louis teams that were so close. And he said the thing we don't have to deal with here at Orlando is we don't have to deal with the, oh, here we go again mentality of having the pressure going into this playoff game. He felt really strong about that because he never had to address it with this particular group.
We're good. Rip. We go.
Plummer on 2nd and 6. Pressure came right up the middle, and they're going to say that that is incomplete. Obviously, he was shifting. You heard the rip call as he was concerned about the pressure off the edge there, but it came right up the middle.
Yeah, he sees Bryce Thompson coming off the right side, so he sends the protection that direction to pick it up. But Cam Camper just didn't give his eyes to Jack Plummer soon enough. Anytime your guy over the top of you as a receiver blitzes, you need to peek right away just to see if the quarterback's going to throw hot. And that time, Camper wasn't ready for it when Plummer wanted to get rid of it.
3rd down and 6 now for Orlando. The #1 seed, trailing by 11 early. Plummer steps up, throws downfield to a wide open Hamler. KJ Hamler.
Boy, Derek Roberson is coming off the right side. He's going to apply the initial pressure. Look at the job by Plummer to step up, ball security. And that one ended up looking like a punt because there was a defender swiping at the arm of Jack Plummer, so he couldn't let that one go clean. But KJ Hamler, one of the guys we haven't mentioned because he was hurt last week. That's right. And Beck wasn't sure he'd be 100% healthy. Another one of those weapons on the outside for Plummer.
Former second-round NFL draft pick by the Broncos after starring at Penn State. And that was thrown short of Chris Rowland. But the big play to the speedy KJ Hamler has Anthony Beck's team in position.
That was very unlike Jack Plummer right there to make that throw to a wide open slant route.
You know, you get a little amped up from the big play. Your emotions are running high a little bit, and sometimes you just rush to show a throw like that. This should be a layup.
Impressive start by the number 4 seed. The DC Defenders up 14-3. But moments ago, Plummer with the big play downfield. 14-3 at the end of one here in Daytona Beach. As you're watching the UFL playoffs on ABC.
Greatness isn't easy. It requires sacrifice and effort. With New Era as the official playoffs partner of the United Football League, that edge is built in. Building together innovative, energetic, fan-first football. The defending champs proudly set the pace on the road to the United Bowl. What you wear stands for something. Built for pros, worn with purpose, made for those who refuse the ordinary and fly their own flag. UFL and New Era. United, we chase greatness.
Hey! Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Full team? Full plan? That guy's a MVP player of the league. We're letting guys tee off on him. I'm tired of it. Stop that. You good? Let's get outside now. I got you.
Anthony Beck knows how important it is to protect his star quarterback, Jack Plummer. He was a great player in college football for Louisville and has been outstanding this season in the UFL, but it is DC who has jumped out to a 14-3 lead. You know, they played the last 2 weeks, these teams. In the last 2 weeks, DC led Orlando over 2 weeks for a combined 7 minutes and 18 seconds. Today, they've been doing it. 9 minutes and 13 seconds they've had the lead, and right now it is Orlando with Plummer having completed a big downfield pass to KJ Hamler, trying to cut into this lead. Plummer out in space to Corbin, but he couldn't control it.
Interesting so far, just talking to these coaches, the game plan for Derek Roberson from DC and blocking him. He's an MVP finalist, 1 of 4 in the UFL. He's one of the best pass rushers there is. And like Joe Wallace got a big hit, Roberson hit Jack Plummer a couple times last week as well. Anthony Beck said they were going to use running backs, use tight ends on him. So far, they've left him singled up, and he's had a couple one-on-one opportunities. Just hasn't hit home yet.
4 years of NFL experience, top 5 in the UFL this year in tackles for loss. 3rd down and 10.
Here we go. Orlando,
Plummer. That is incomplete as Elijah Badger, the former Florida Gator, got tied up with the former NFL first-round pick DeAndre Baker.
And that's that matchup, the heavyweight matchup I said we were going to see all game on the right side of your screen right here. Badger, one of the best in the UFL, going on a former first-round draft pick. DeAndre Baker out of Georgia, drafted in 2019, played a bunch of games for New York and Kansas City. And if DC's running the ball and winning the one-on-one matchups on defense, it's going to be a long game.
Anthony Beck is talking things over with the official.
Receiver, number 2, he's past 5 yards. You have a legal contact on his chest. Sorry, I wanted to get one in from the last game. Yeah, so on number 2, past the 5 yard. Couldn't allow him to get to the ball. Okay, couldn't allow him.
Well, the UFL Command Center and Dean Blandino are going to have some work to do here.
Remember, in the UFL, you can challenge flags that weren't thrown.
Chris, I'm with you. He wants illegal contact on the intended receiver.
He does, yes.
So, okay, illegal contact is contact beyond 5, but it has to be before the pass. Quarterback is in the pocket with the ball. Now the ball's gone, and you can see down here, no contact has occurred yet. Here's the contact with the ball in the air. Doesn't raise the level of pass interference. It's gonna go just my all 22. Just to confirm again, ball is in the air, no contact. And then there's incidental contact with the ball in the air. So, Chris, after further review, the ruling on the field of no illegal contact stands. Correct.
After review, there is no foul for illegal contact. Orlando has charged this timeout and may not challenge for the remainder of the game. It's 4th down.
That is the ultimate transparency in officiating in all of pro sports. The Replay Command Center, fully mic'd, listen in to Dean Blandino, unprecedented access, and explaining the decision-making process, by the way, telling you the why, not just the result. So the challenge doesn't work out for Anthony Becht. And Lance is able to put it through. So 14-6. The UFL playoffs.
Yeah, like, what's the extra?
High drama in the Stanley Cup final in Vegas last night. Golden Knights capturing game 3, 5-4 in double overtime. So now Vegas leads the series 2-1, and game 4 is coming your way Tuesday night on ABC and the ESPN app, and coverage begins at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Stanley Cup final presented by Geico continues. The Carolina Hurricanes and the Vegas Knights. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC and streaming live on the ESPN app.
So would it have been a PI?
See Anthony Becht still inquiring about that call. One of the reasons I didn't like the challenge there is because the ball was thrown too far downfield to make it look like the receiver really had an opportunity to make a play on it. So whether it was incidental contact, illegal contact, or pass interference, the ball just wasn't close enough in proximity to the receiver to really argue that the DB got in the way there. And again, remember, no more challenge for Anthony Becht for the rest of the game. Those are great to have in your pocket, especially in the fourth quarter of a tight game. Because of that super challenge, you can really challenge anything.
And when you exhaust it with 13:51 remaining in the second quarter, sometimes that can come with regret, especially when you're trying to get to the United Bowl championship opportunity. This is Ezukanmu, and a flag comes down at the end of that return. Well, DC started red hot. 5-1, had a 5-game win streak, week 2 to week 6. And then the big turning point, Jordan Ta'amu, the star quarterback, was the MVP of the championship game last year. And they've lost 4 straight down the stretch, including back-to-back weeks to Orlando. First time that teams are playing 3 straight games in spring pro football history. Just the second time in pro football history. It happened in the NFL all the way back in December of 1943.
Flex left queen.
The advantage for DC is that Orlando really only has the 1 game of film in this offense because Spencer Sanders started that week 9 matchup against Orlando. And what you don't want to do in these rematches, especially 3 times, is try to overcoach. Try to add a bunch of stuff that's not your identity. Right now, Orlando looks like they're doing a little too much on defense to try to corral Jason Bean's legs.
Well, after the penalty on the return, it backed him up, but Jason Bean scoots out at the 26-yard line. Jason Bean, who passed for nearly 6,000 yards in his 6-year college career. He played at North Texas. Then he was a starter at Kansas, and now gets the nod down the stretch for DC.
Notice how quick he made that decision to tuck the ball and run it.
Yes.
We heard all last week that, man, if it's there, take it. He's taking it today.
He is, Sam. Quickly getting the ball out into space, but nothing there with Kiki Kuti.
And the dangerous part for a defense is he hasn't run it very often. He's actually pretty accurate on these passes. So first you're thinking, man, I need to try to contain him because he's gonna run it. Then he doesn't run it. He's pretty accurate. Now, like, what do I do? Do I contain? Do I rush the quarterback? That's the tough part about being
spread right, spread left, spread left.
Opportunity for the Orlando defense. A 3rd down and 6.
This is where the pass rush for Orlando cannot get deeper than Jason Bean and allow him to step up and run through.
Bean's going to run straight ahead, and he will have the 1st down.
Boy, watch how confused Orlando is as they're late getting aligned, and there is nobody in the A-gaps right before this. The perfectly called play. Just a little quick quarterback draw, and I like that he didn't. Usually you're taught to kind of delay and wait a tick, look like you're passing. That time he saw the opening, took off right away, was able to pick up the 1st down.
This is Azukamu. So he makes it just beyond the 35-yard line.
Flex left. Flex left. 29. No, hold on.
Already, Fred Kais feels like he's in a really good rhythm with his new starting quarterback. Remember, just the 2nd game. They're working together as starter play caller. He's doing a great job of mixing up the easy layup, quick game throws for Bean, and the opportunities to use his legs.
Going to test the other side in space. Azukamu, and he is just tripped up. And that will move the chains for a 1st down.
And these are all called run plays with a built-in pass on them. And Jason Bean has just come to the line of scrimmage and seeing, okay, you only got 2 guys out over the 3, or you only got 1 guy that's splitting the difference. If you have green grass, he's going to take that and throw it every single time.
29 Packer.
So you're right about Orlando, though, Jordan. They're discombobulated.
Yeah.
They can't get lined up along the front. They're lunging in open field tackles. That should have been a 3-yard loss.
Yep. You got the run, Beanie. Hand it off.
Valladay, who had a touchdown run last week in the matchup of these 2 teams, tackled for a loss. That was Jason Taylor, the former Oklahoma State defensive back, with the tackle.
And Jason Taylor, one of those guys they signed at the end of April. This Orlando team has actually had a lot of injuries, but credit to Anthony Becht. He's kind of gone off the beaten path of evaluating talent. Guys that weren't really on the radar. Jason Taylor, one of those. Kanai Magwa, another guy, a linebacker that's starting now after getting signed 3 weeks ago.
He had 9 tackles a week ago. Bean with time, downfield strike, and it falls incomplete. DJ James was there defensively.
Boy, I know I sound like a broken record, but Jason Bean once again staring this down. Keyshawn Banks is right there. Not Keyshawn Banks, excuse me, Dequan Jackson.
Got there early.
He's got to be careful throwing that over the middle of the field, not looking any defenders off. And now, 3rd and real long.
Third down and 12. They're 5 of 6 on 3rd down today. Bean pressured as he throws, and that falls incomplete before Nate Meters could get to it. Keyshawn Banks was applying pressure on Jason Bean.
Yeah, and he's just going to take Wettig, the right tackle, straight into the face of Bean, who's trying to take the one-on-one matchup on the outside with Braylon Sanders on a little double move. It wouldn't have been there. Coverage was great, but that time Orlando rolled the dice a little bit, brought the blitz, forced the issue for Jason Bean.
Paxton Brooks on to punt away. Had a punt blocked a week ago. Chris Rowland, one of the best return men in the UFL. And it's a scatter, and it retreats, and it's an outstanding bounce for Orlando. So the #1 seed Orlando trailing by 8, but with the ball after we come back with these messages and a word from your ABC station. So Orlando's the #1 seed as the UFL playoffs begin. They started the year 4-2. They had an overtime win over Louisville, who you see later today in the postseason. Of course, won their last 4 games of the regular season, including 2 straight against DC, today's rival here in the playoffs. Excellent staff that's had success before in St. Louis. Obviously, the guy who most think will be the MVP and quarterback, Jack Plummer. For right now, trailing 14-6. And then coming up at 6 o'clock on Fox, it'll be the Battle Hawks and the Kings, who came on so strongly on the back half of the season, to see who ends up in the 2026 United Bowl.
Come down, come down, come down. Hey, Hot Springer, Hot Springer, Hot Springer. He's gonna cross your face. He's gonna cross your face. Toro. Orlando, touch.
Dotson, as he is tripped up, making his way to the 44-yard line.
And there's Andre Mintz, a guy that was just signed, we mentioned earlier, out of retirement. He's working a real job in Baltimore. He's taking his paid time off. Coach Shannon Harris texted him last week, said, hey, you got 2 more in you for a playoff run? He said, absolutely.
We asked Shannon the other day, we said, well, what's he been? He's like, he's had an awesome week of practice.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, he looks great. Dotson again breaks the first would-be tackler and then lowers his shoulders past midfield inside the 45-yard line. A really good run by Elijah Dotson.
Well, Mintz is here trying to set the edge right there, but it's going to be the secondary player that's just going to miss. Who was that? Yeah, Brandon Smith just missed on a tackle right there, but they brought Mintz in because obviously Derek Roberson, best pass rusher in the UFL, or one of them, him and Cam Gill for Louisville. They needed another guy on the other side to try to make Jack Plummer uncomfortable.
Play action after the 12-yard run, and that is complete. With defensive backs converging, KJ Hamler, who had the big reception earlier, comes up with another.
Well, I just talked about getting pressure on Jack Plummer. There is no pressure here. Watch how wide this pocket is. Jack Plummer has so much room to operate. Sees KJ Hamler come open. It's a great job by Hamler going up and getting that one. And what a boost. A guy that Anthony Becht, when we talked to him earlier this week, wasn't sure he was going to even play or be 100%. Already a couple big catches.
Well, here's Plummer now keeping it himself, and then smart to slide down at the 28-yard line.
And this is what Orlando needed, just to get in rhythm. Right? I mean, before this drive started, just 63 total yards in 10 plays through the first almost quarter and a half or so. They just need to get this offense in rhythm. Jack Plummer is one of the best when he has time to command everything pre-snap. Get the protection right, adjust the play if he needs to, get the ball out of his hands. As you see here, making an adjustment at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 7. Plummer. Inside the 10-yard line, Elijah Badger.
Boy, you see Badger working. This is such a great anticipation throw. The reason it's a little inside, because Plummer had to throw this like 2 full seconds before Elijah Badger came out of that break. That is a great anticipation throw by the league's best, Jack Plummer.
23-yard reception, and now it's 1st and goal, Orlando. Dotson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, tackled by Brandon Smith.
Boy, watch again how early Jack Plummer releases this ball as he goes. Badger's not even close to being out of his break. I mean, he's a full 2 steps. That's why that ball ends up being a little outside. He just had to throw it so early, but had to because of the pressure from Boogie Basham on the outside.
Hey, back! Take care! Take care! Rip, 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 rip! Here we go! Orlando, touch!
2nd and goal. Plummer looking for an option. Corner of the end zone, and a flag comes down. Elijah Badger was the target. Garrett Conley was the defensive back locked up with him.
Pass interference. Defense number 0. The foul was in the end zone. The ball was spotted at the 1-yard line where it's 1st down.
Yeah, DC plays a physical brand of man coverage. Connolly right here is just all over Badger. Again, I mentioned earlier, former 1st-round draft pick. Another guy that actually was retired and they decided to roll the dice one more season. Came out of retirement late February, right before camp.
So after the penalty, I formation.
What's up?
And Dotson was tripped up and just had a surge ahead to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here we go.
Watch Sam Kidd, the safety.
Yeah, Kidd does a great job of getting low, just getting probably a fingertip on the cleats there of Dotson. This is where Orlando has struggled, being able to run the football low in the red zone when they need to punch it in.
Second and goal. Big defensive lineman as the lead blocker for Dotson, who is wrestled back again. And they're claiming the ball came out is DC. And you saw Brandon Smith come away with the ball.
And you see Jack Plummer under center again. This is where I'd love to see Orlando put him in shotgun, because he's not immobile. He's a guy that can absolutely run the football, force the defense to at least account for his mobility on the backside, and maybe give you a numbers advantage on the front side, because right now DC is just a more physical team at the line of scrimmage.
DC defender is down at the end of the play. It's Derek Parrish, the defensive end, who had a sack last week against Orlando.
It is hot down there.
Forward progress.
Hot and humid.
All right. Well, I mean, that's good you made a quick decision. They haven't done that all year, but that's fine. I appreciate that, because we've been telling them, like, if you're going to stop forward progress, stop it. You know what I mean?
Once you get 2 or 3 players pushing them back, that's it. It's over.
All right. But was it there when the contact was made?
No.
I thought contact was made in the backfield.
No. Contact was where I was. That's why I stayed where I was.
Yeah.
I started going my whistle.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
It's Monique Washington having a conversation with Shannon Harris as he wanted the explanation as to why that wasn't a live ball that was recovered by his defense. The forward progress was stopped. So it's
polite.
3rd and goal. Extraordinarily polite for an official and head coach conversation.
Well, it's when the call's going your way, you're always very polite. And Plummer in shotgun here, empty formation.
3rd and goal. Plummer tried to shuffle it out to the side to Hamler, as he was the player who was coming in the jet motion, but then there was so much traffic in the pocket with Jack Plummer.
Yeah, they're trying for a little shovel pass to Chris Rowland right here. This is what they want to hit, but watch. I don't know who that was. Maybe it was Bishop, I think it was, or Brandon Smith, excuse me, that blew that one up, and Plummer just tried to get it late to KJ Hamler.
So now a 4th down.
Yeah.
Play clock under 10.
Boy, again, another empty formation.
Anthony Beck was waving for a timeout.
Was it a timeout, Jim?
He was coming down wanting it before.
Timeout.
Yep.
Yes.
Staying here.
Timeout, Orlando. They're second. 30 seconds.
So just over 3.5 minutes before halftime. The top seed in the UFL postseason, trailing by 8, facing a 4th and goal.
I don't hate a field goal here. I know things haven't been going Orlando's way, but you get a field goal, 5-point game. I understand the desire for points, but I like field goal in this position.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially since they're not really able to run the football down here or have a ton of confidence.
63 wide fade at Chevy.
Calling again, and you hear the play call from Colin Thompson. 63 is a pass protection, so they will be throwing the football here. F. Chevy is the tag. That's Chris Rowland to the left side of your screen. Right here.
4th and goal for Orlando. Plummer, 4th down, trying to extend the play, but one of the best there is takes him down. Derek Roberson with his 8th sack of the season now.
And we've talked about it. Do you double him or do you leave him one-on-one? They opt to leave Roberson one-on-one here with right tackle Samuel Jackson, and that is a grown man pass rush. Starts with speed, tosses Jackson to the side, and brings Plummer down to stop the drive on 4th down.
Big play by Roberson. And DC maintains the 8-point margin here in the postseason. The UFL is brought to you by Orlando Health. We make it personal. I'll tell you, Derek Roberson just made it personal, saying, yeah, we want that crown. DC's defense just came up with a massive play with the sack on 4th and goal.
Well, watch Derek Roberson right here lined over Jackson. He's going to first sell this with speed. Right here, he's going to sell speed, which gets Samuel to go upfield, and then he's going to redirect. Watch redirect. Bam, and then he's going to work back inside, and that's when he makes the play on Plummer. So he gets Samuel on his heels and then brings down his 8th sack of the season for the MVP finalist.
Flag is down as perhaps there was an Orlando player offside.
Well, I'm down here with D-Rob right now, so they've tried to chip you. They try to W. That time they give you a one-on-one. You set them up to the outside, convert speed to power. How'd it work?
I mean, I see, so like I said a couple weeks ago, soft tackle. I knew it was speed to power, so I just speed and bull rush the soft ass and got to the quarterback. Grabbed the quarterback by a horse collar. There ain't no horse collar in the pocket, so easy touchdown for me. I mean, easy tackle for me, man.
As opposed to the last 2 weeks, you guys have really seemed to eliminate the negative plays. How much does that change this football team?
I mean, they only been hitting on a couple plays, so if you eliminate those couple plays, man, we've been stomping their ass, pass game and run game. So it's just DC football, man.
For you, from a one-on-one perspective, how important is it to have that big 48 on the opposite side?
Oh, man, it's a lot. They take some of that pressure off me. Hey, yo, Mintz, welcome back, my boy. Welcome back.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Talk about Andre Mintz, who was just recently signed. Man, Derek Roberson, not too bashful about assessing the offensive lineman opposite him.
Hey, sometimes you see something on film and you're really confident. Not going to repeat what he says because I'm not going to do that to Samuel Jackson, but he felt that he could use the speed rush to set up a physical power rush, and on a 4th and 1, when DC needed it most, that's the biggest play of the game so far.
And now here's 3rd down and 1. After the turnover on downs, after that massive 4th down sack by Roberson, as Valde will move the chains. Tom?
Yeah, Tess, I'm here with the man of the hour, Andre Mintz. You're on a 2-week sabbatical from a real job, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So you're technically not here.
Not at all.
Yeah. What is it that's so hard to get the sport of football out of your blood, man?
Man, we've been playing this since I was 10 years old. It's in you, man. It's in your veins. I love to fly around, hit people with my teammates.
So you think the cat's out of the bag, being that we're on national television right now?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's all he's got to say, allegedly.
Hey, us Vandy guys are smart, Tom. We know if you got a chance to double dip, get a couple paychecks, might as well do it.
The story of Andre Mintz is outrageous. Listen, he's a great player in the UFL in recent years, including a year ago, and then he's working a business job in Baltimore. They call run. Be the pass rusher. Let's try to win a championship. 2-minute warning has arrived. DC by 8. How about Jalen Brunson for the Knicks? Game 2 Friday night in San Antonio. As the Knicks were able to edge them 105-104 in the NBA Finals. Game 2. Knicks with 13 straight playoff victories. And the NBA Finals will continue. Game 3 Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC from MSG. Knicks lead the series 2-0. Brunson's averaging 26 points and nearly 7 assists for the Knicks.
Is that good?
That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Closing in on the NBA Finals championship, as right now we're trying to see who will make it to the United Bowl in DC, the championship for the UFL. And the 4 seed, DC, is up by 8 on the 1 seed, Orlando. Valladay with the carry here under 2 minutes before halftime, when we will hear from Zubin Mehenti and Roddy Jones.
This is where, if you're Jason Bean, you just got to reiterate to everybody, ball security. You'd be very happy to take this game into halftime up 14-6. Don't want to give Orlando cheap field position or an opportunity to get points on the board before half. They do receive the second half kick as well.
Pre-snap penalty. You see the regret on the face of Briley Moore, the tight end.
Game clock was 1:24.
Chris.
10-second runoff.
DC wants to let the runoff go. Take it.
False start.
Oh, yeah.
Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty. Second down. Please
Boy,
reset the game clock.
The penalty is going to be here, but I want you to watch Briley Moore, the tight end. If Losoya doesn't flinch early, there is nobody. It is one-on-one with a safety. A foot race to the end zone. That would have been a massive play for DC.
Yeah, we got to call play. I know we got to call play. It was a big play.
Wow, and penalties.
Listening to Jason Bean, the quarterback.
We got to run a play.
I'm going to go.
Yeah, penalties have kind of plagued this DC team.
Philly 47. Philly 47. Z cross. T post. Z cross. T post.
Hold on. Philly 47. Yes. Yep. Ready, go!
Here's Bean. And he gets it complete to Powell downfield. DC with one timeout remaining, 49 seconds before halftime.
Boy, watch Bean step up in the pocket, and he gets a great block from Trey Wettig, the right tackle, that just blows the defensive end out of the way, which allows him to escape to the right and find Cornell Powell, their #1 receiver. That shows a lot of trust that Fred Kais has in Jason Bean to call a pass play there, backed up, and take the risk. Paid off there.
Remember, just his second start for DC after being traded mid-season. Bean downfield and waiting for it, and complete inside the 30-yard line is Braylon Sanders. And all of a sudden, DC goes from managing this towards halftime to potentially adding to their lead.
Yes.
Boy, you just can't do anything right against the mobility of Jason Bean. You rush too far to the outside, he steps up. You rush inside, he escapes right.
Half a minute before halftime, and he gets it complete again to Sanders.
Is it me, or does this feel like a different Jason Bean than what we saw last week?
Completely different Sam.
Playing with so much confidence and poise within the pocket.
As he clocks it here with 21 seconds remaining.
Boy, once again, if you rush inside, he's going to escape outside. And I highlighted it. The previous play, they rushed outside, and he was able to step up. Right now, Jason Bean just has an answer for everything Orlando's throwing at him. Kind of on his back foot. That's why he couldn't get a ton on that ball to Braylon Sanders, but just enough for the explosive play. Something they haven't had in a few weeks. Since Jordan Ta'amu, an MVP finalist, went down with an injury 3 weeks ago, this team has not been as explosive through the air, but Jason Bean starting to find his rhythm.
Officially, that's going to go down as an Orlando timeout. 21 seconds remain. DC still has a timeout. The #4 seed, the team that started red hot, lost their starting quarterback, lost 4 straight, now finding success with Jason Bean at quarterback, the former Kansas Jayhawk, who was traded from Louisville mid-season, against the best team in the league, the Orlando Storm.
Zone watch.
Easy. Hey, 23. 23 left.
Game clock being listed at 25 seconds till half. They're going to stick on the ground here with Valladay, who makes it down to the 5-yard line. Tackled by Jason Taylor.
Ready, go.
And they will clock it there.
Come on, ref, you just gave him one. You got to give us one soon. Come on now. You're moving with the man. They're going to swing.
Boy, just a great job here seeing 5 guys in the box. He audibled to 23, just an inside zone handoff. That is something we didn't see Jason Bean do last week. He didn't have the autonomy or the confidence to change things at the line of scrimmage. That time seeing Orlando's light in the box, let's audible to this easy run play, and now in striking range of a touchdown before half.
Second and goal after clocking it. Bean just has to get rid of it. And it's incomplete. 12 seconds remain as Ty Scott was the intended receiver, but so much pressure on Jason Bean. 1 timeout remains. Keyshawn Banks was there defensively, applying the pressure. Anthony Beck tried to break through his regular season, looking to try to win a postseason championship.
You got to be careful here. You got to know where you're at on the field. You got a timeout left. Orlando gets the ball coming out of the locker room to start the third quarter.
Yeah, this is going to be a boot. They're going to fake a run. I heard the term lasso, and Jason Bean should be keeping the ball in a boot with options downfield.
3rd and goal. Bean looking to the end zone. Now he's going to try. Oh, there it is! At the very last second, he finds Cornell Powell. A flag is down, cross field at the 7-yard line. Did he cross the line of scrimmage?
So we're going to back him up.
No, yeah.
He wasn't covered.
And it's going to be fourth. It's going to be fourth down. 3rd and goal or declines 4th and goal. No, they have a touchdown. Right, take it. Be quiet.
They're asking, was he beyond the line?
Boy, it's a boot. Watch initially as he gets outside right here. Watch Briley Moore wide open, doesn't see him. Ends up finding Powell, but a little too far downfield.
Or does he want fourth down?
Missed an opportunity to find his tight end for a touchdown.
Number 71 was not covered on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
Also a formation issue with Jalen Duncan.
Well, they're going to send Matt McCrane out with 5 seconds remaining for the short field goal attempt. This just from 28. And it is no good. McCrane misses the 28-yard field goal attempt.
Snap was low, so the holder has a little trouble getting this up. Might have affected the timing for McCrane, and he just hooks that one. He did miss 2 field goals last week, left pulling them as well. Snap didn't help him out on that one.
Nope, the operation was way off, but what a missed opportunity. They could have added to their lead. Tom.
Here with Coach Harris. Coach, obviously a missed opportunity there with those last 2 plays, but for the most part, it's been a reversal of fortune in terms of playing clean football as opposed to the last 2 weeks. What are the little things that are going to get you over the hump?
Yeah, you can't work so hard and get down here and not come away with points. We talked about that all week for the last 2 games that we played. They eliminate the mistake, the small thing. Whatever was a bad snap, whatever the hold was, whatever it is, we can't have those type of mistakes in playoff football and expect to win games to go to a championship. Small little detail mistakes. We just got to clean it up.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sam?
Here with Anthony Beck, Coach Beck, down by 8, going into halftime. What's your message for the team?
I mean, we got to take a deep breath and be in the right spot. You know, defense, first couple series, we got them in all kinds of 3rd downs. We're just not finding the football, locating guys where they're supposed to be, where the sticks are, so that we can get off the field. They're working way too hard. Our defense is on the field too long. We got to get off the field on 3rd down. Offense is moving the ball. We just got to get in the red zone. We got to score touchdowns, right? That's the difference right now. Now, we get the ball at half. We can easily go down the field right now, score, and make this a whole new ball game. But, again, we got to regroup. We got to get some gas and air back there, get some drinks back, and focus in on what our details are, and we'll be fine coming out in the second half.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Coach.
Sam.
Well, Coach's team receives the second half kickoff. The number 1 seed trailing by 8. DC was 1-5 against playoff teams during the regular season, and now up 14-6 here in this UFL semifinal game. Studio will be coming your way with Zubin Mehenti and Roddy Jones as we continue on with the UFL postseason.
Joe, Jordan, Sam, Tom, thank you very much. Bottom line, the Defenders, the champs, haven't won a game since May 2nd. Heading to the second half, they got to be feeling really good. The aptly named Defenders, particularly in the red zone, really caught your eye in the first half.
They certainly did. You heard Anthony Beck talk about it. Their offense for the Storm has moved the ball down the field but they've really had a tough time in the red zone. 2 red zone stops for DC ends up being kind of the difference in the game. You had this one where Jack Plummer throws down the field, just barely incomplete, maybe a penalty, but the ball was too far gone. And then on a 3rd down and eventually a 4th down, you get the sort of short arm pass out wide. And then on this 4th down play, the rush by Derek Roberson ends up getting the stop. Orlando, 6 points with 2 red zone trips. One of those was a 4th down stop. They settled for a long field goal. They have to be more efficient in the red zone.
And one of the things that Shannon told Tom there right at the half, what did he tell Tom? It's all about those little things. It's the little things in a game like this. One offsides call, one miscue here can really change the complexion of a game, and that caught your eye.
Yeah, you talk about the little things, and you saw it go DC's way earlier in the game. They're down, they're forced to kick a field goal, but Orlando jumps off sides, makes it half the distance to the goal. They get a 4th and 1 that they end up getting. And then they punch that in the end zone. It didn't go their way at the end of the half, though, where they had the touchdown called off because of the illegal man downfield. So it is the little things. Orlando early in the half didn't execute those. And then late in the half, DC gets caught with the same thing.
No doubt about it. And you think about it for our next game, you got Jason Bean. The only reason he's playing in our game is because the Louisville Kings gave up on him. When we return here on the halftime report, we'll take a look at a battle of 6 and 4 teams that have the same record and had one key thing they both decided to do that put them on the brink of the United Bowl. What is it? We'll tell you on the way. Bottom line, this is still a 1-possession game after the touchdown was pulled off the board and the field goal was no good. Good second half on the way. We're back to talk the second game of today's doubleheader next.
UFL semifinal from here in Daytona Beach, Florida, as we welcome back to the UFL playoff presented by New Era, the official headwear and jersey partner of the UFL. Game moved here because of field commitment rules with a soccer match in Orlando. And the DC Defenders, they like it near the beach. 14-6 upset-minded 4-seed, Tom.
Yeah, Tess, I'll tell you, this is playoff football here. And if you're DC, you've got to continue to play clean. You cannot blow opportunities. Coach Shannon Harris had 112 plays that he pulled off of the last 2 weeks, and he pulled 12 of those plays and said, guys, these 12 plays were the difference between winning and losing. You can't lose those opportunities. And secondly, you got to create a turnover. Force Orlando into a mistake and don't allow them to crawl back into this game. Regain momentum, get the offense back on the field. That's the key to victory for DC if they want to play at home next week in the United Bowl. Sam?
The locker room was simple. For the defensive side of the message was, don't miss your layups. There are plays that are available to be made. Them offensively, they said, hey man, we get better as the game goes on. But what stood out most to me was the fact that it was the players leading the huddle. Keyshawn Banks said, hey, that was our worst half of football. If we win the half, we win the game. Isaiah Buggs, defensive tackle, also spoke up as well. So it was the players in the locker room that are trying to turn this thing around.
Players that led Orlando to an excellent regular season. 8 wins, and top seed. Beat DC in back-to-back weeks. So the first instance of teams playing 3 straight games in UFL history. Here's Chris Rowland on the return. He is met at about the 33-yard line. First half stats presented by Progressive.
Yeah, kind of a slow start to this game for Orlando's offense, similar to what happened last week when this game was 10-9 at half. But DC has just been a better team. They've been moving the football on the ground. It's really been the playmaking ability outside the pocket of Jason Bean. Last week was about finding their quarterback for the playoffs. DC did that. Jason Bean looks like a different guy. Now it's time for the MVP to answer.
There's Jack Plummer, starting quarterback for Orlando. Oh, wow! An interception on play 1. Bryce Thompson. Bryce Thompson with a burst to jump on that opportunity.
No, it can't.
Boy, these are the things that just tell me Jack Plummer's a little off his game. This is a layup throw with Chris Rowland coming across the formation. He gets it high and a little bit behind him. That ball has got to be out in front of Chris Rowland so he can catch it and turn the corner. High and a little behind him makes it a tough catch. And Off the deflection, Bryce Thompson all over it. And what did Tom just say? He said DC's got to find a way to get a turnover. And on the first play, they do it.
Yes, sir!
Shannon Harris, who talked a lot this week about understanding how to win in the postseason, about resetting things, said everybody's record's the same now. It's what he's told his team all week long, and the defenders clearly buying into it. They are playing inspired. Bryce Thompson with the interception on the first play from scrimmage of this second half. And now Jason Bean back to business as he gets it to Moore, and Briley Moore up the sideline.
Tess, I got a chance to talk with Bryce Thompson before the game. He said that big-time players make big-time plays in games like these. He said he's going to put on a show. We saw it earlier in last week's game, and now today in this game, Bryce Thompson making another impact play.
He was a great defensive back in the SEC. Has a single-game school record at Tennessee with the Vols. He had 3 interceptions in a game for Tennessee once, and now a big interception to open up this second half. Jackson takes it ahead to the 14-yard line, tackled by Chris Garrett.
And Deion Jackson kind of having this slow start to this game. He averaged over 7 yards a carry in the first 2 matchups. Shannon Harris gave him a little break last week to get his legs under him. A slow start. Just 12 yards on 8 carries so far. This is where he's most important. In the red zone, where they went 2 for 6 last week. That was the story of the game. They got to get points down here.
Keep it on the ground with Jackson.
Well, I'm down here with Bryce Thompson right now. Hey, man, Johnny on the spot. You're closing in on that flat route. What'd you see?
Man, see ball, go get ball. That's how we it's taught down here in the DB room. Tips, overthrows, that's ours.
It's been tough to get interceptions and turnovers against this Orlando unit. Was that a point of emphasis this week?
Yeah, no, for sure. We dropped like 4. He would have thrown like 4 to him earlier, but we dropped him. But we're going to make it count when the game counts.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Third down, flag is down. Jason Bean as he throws against the grain, and it's incomplete, but we will check on the flag.
That gives us a first down, right?
Correct.
Offside, defense number 52, the 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
It was 3rd and 5 and an offside on Keyshawn Banks, so a first down.
Well, that's just a mental mistake. And that'll frustrate Anthony Becht more than anything, especially because he said this week, the pass rush, don't care if they get sacks. Don't need them to try to get after Jason Bean. Just keep him in the pocket. And once again, Keyshawn Banks not only aligning a little too far with the line of scrimmage, but rushing upfield and allowing Jason Bean to get outside and use his legs. That's got to stop. If Orlando's going to come back in this game, they have to force Bean to play from the pocket.
Yeah. It is a first.
Officials just clarifying that indeed it is a first down. It is 1st and goal after the penalty.
Ready to go.
Here's Bean. Being chased. And he throws it away. He's 2nd and goal.
I love the decision there because Bean for a second made my heart race, and Fred Kais probably as well, as he looked back over the middle of the field late. Threw an interception last week doing that in the red zone. Great job there of just throwing it away.
H right close. No, let's go.
That was first down.
Right
You're
close.
inside the 10-yard line, on the 5-yard line. Don't need to force anything down here.
Ready? 51 sniper. Ready, go.
2nd and goal. Chased again, incomplete.
Well, you can see blitz coming backside. This is what's going to force Bean outside the pocket. They really want him to set up over here as soon as he gets out. But on the run, just couldn't be accurate to Xavier Valladay because of the pressure backside. Orlando's had its most success against Jason Bean when they blitzed him, when they forced him to make fast decisions. Let's see if they do it again here.
Can hear the crowd growing in support for a stop here on 3rd and goal. It's going to be a throwback. And it falls to the ground. Ezukanmu trying to throw it back. So they will bring in Matt McCrane for a field goal attempt.
And Amani Bledsoe, I think it is, number 95, there's a great job of putting pressure on Ezukanma there. He had to throw it off his back foot. He's not a quarterback, so you're not going to be accurate doing that. If that ball is a foot higher, it's a walk-in touchdown. Bledsoe, one of the guys they got in the trade, along with Matt Corral for Dorian Thompson-Robinson earlier in the year.
(17-6) now. After the interception opens up the second half. DC and Orlando meeting up for the 3rd consecutive week in Week 9 in Central Florida at Orlando. The Storm get the best of them to finish up the regular season up at Audi Field. Orlando wins back-to-back. They thought because of a scheduling conflict with an international soccer field commitment, the game would be in Ohio, and then they say, no, we're going to reward the Storm fans and move it to here, Daytona Stadium, just about an hour away from Orlando, and now it's DC, the number 4 seed, up 17-6 here in this semifinal game to see who moves on to play for the championship in the United Bowl. In the history of pro football, playing an opponent 3 times in a row has only happened one other time.
Tess, you were there for that game, weren't you?
That game was back in December of 1943. The Giants and Washington played 3 consecutive weeks. The Giants won the regular season matchups back on December 5th and 12th. Then on the 19th, they met up in the postseason. And it was Sammy Baugh who led the way as Washington ended up coming up with the win the 3rd time they played. And now Chris Rowland is taken down at the 21-yard line. Good special teams coverage.
This is where Colin Thompson, the play caller for Orlando, has got to find a way to get his MVP caliber quarterback back in rhythm. 5 for 12 for 93 yards in that interception. His first in 266 pass attempts. Plummer just has not looked comfortable, whether it's because of the pass rush or just inaccurate on a few throws that he's normally dialed on. Right now, what's your best, most comfortable call for Plummer to get him back in rhythm?
And he connects out to the 27-yard line with Cam Camper, who had a massive play a week ago in the Orlando win against DC. Broke multiple tackles for a 74-yard touchdown.
Yeah, a guy that started the year inactive really has come along the last couple weeks, back-to-back touchdowns against DC as his role continually got bigger and bigger, especially with the injury to KJ Hamler.
Go, Row, go, Row, go, Row. Here we go. Good on! 189! It's up!
2nd and 4.
Plummer.
And he is ripped down. And that was Joe Wallace who brought down Jack Plummer.
Well, the first problem is you got Boogie Basham with no help on Samuel Jackson again. Jackson has struggled out there. I'd love to see, and you obviously see Wallace clean up the mess there. I would love to see Orlando do what they told us they were going to do. Get tight ends and running backs involved on chipping on the ends. We haven't seen that. The running backs have been inserting in protection, looking for linebackers, and the edge pass rush has been all over Jack Plummer.
It was not a
See Andre Mintz with success. Derek Roberson had one of the biggest plays of the game, that sack on 4th and goal. Boogie Basham and Joe Wallace getting involved now.
189! What's up?
And quick note on Orlando's sideline, left guard Michael Gonzalez seems to be out for the game. He's an all-UFL player. He's been replaced by number 51, Mose Vavao. So that could be part of the reason why we're seeing some of the penetration from the inside in Orlando.
Here we go! Orlando, touch!
Officials were enforcing a penalty, by the way, in the previous play, and that's why we had the first down ruling. But we haven't seen clarity as what that was.
And just a confirmation, it is Michael Gonzalez out for the game with an ankle injury, left guard.
Hey, let's go to the UFL Commander. Hey, Dean, just to clean things up, the penalty moments ago, what was that?
It was illegal contact. They had the DB making contact beyond 5. Quarterback was still in the pocket with the football, so that led to an automatic first down.
Very well. Now it's a 3rd and 3.
We're good. Orlando, touch!
Plummer. Oh, look at this! Able to get it downfield to Cap all the way for a score! Jerome Cap with a 60-yard touchdown!
Just when they needed an answer, you knew at some point Plummer was going to find someone downfield. It's what they made their bread and butter on all year, explosive plays, and this time it's his roommate Jerome Cap, who had the blocked punt last week to force a safety. Now Shannon Harris.
Challenge flag is down.
Yeah.
They think there's a hold, guys, in the offensive line. They were all yelling it, calling it out as it was the play was progressing.
All right, tell it to me, Dave.
I'm trying to get it from the coach.
Number 76 holding number 23. Yeah. He held you, right? Yeah.
He's got the right.
Appreciate it. Yeah. All right.
So
76, right? 76 was the right guard, right, Dave?
DC is challenging that we have a
76
hold
right
on
guard,
the right guard. I'm on my sky cam here. He initially blocks the initial defender. Now watch his right arm. He's going to hook him and turn him right there. Quarterback still has the ball, takes us away from the defender. That's my best look. Again, hook and turn. If he ran right through that contact, it'd be okay, but he definitely takes a step away. Quarterback still has the ball. That's a hold, Chris. So after further review, we do have a successful challenge. It is holding. We're going to go back to your previous spot. It was the 40. It was the left hash. It was 3rd and 3. We're going to enforce the 10-yard penalty for that.
It's the internal pressure, and you see right guard Joey Fisher kind of trying to come off late to Jacobs, who blitzed after the stunt and did just get his right arm hooked on Jacobs, which impeded his path to Jack Plummer. Right there, that's a great look at it. Fisher actually had both arms, the right and the left, around Curtis Jacobs.
Offense number 76, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And wipes off an incredible play by Jack Plummer, because with his eyes, he moved the safety, the only guy that could have made a play on Jerome Cap, which led to that huge play. And
8-yard pivot, 8 yards.
that is the uniqueness of the Super Challenge. Being able to challenge a play or a flag that wasn't thrown.
I just player safety. It's just player safety.
So
Helmets in
Anthony
the chest.
Beck's team has the 60-yard touchdown wiped out as head coach Shannon Harris for DC was clear what he wanted to do with the challenge and delivered it, and the touchdown is nullified. And now Plummer incomplete to midfield, looking for Cam Andrews, incomplete.
Boy, once again, though, watch Derek Roberson one-on-one. This running back doesn't stay to block. I'd love to keep him in so Plummer doesn't have to step up and he can be more accurate with his throw. That should have been a big play. If they chip and help with Derek Roberson, there's a clean pocket for Jack Plummer, and he wouldn't have missed that throw low, and that would have been Orlando is allowing Derek Roberson one-on-one matchups, and he's winning them, as you'd expect from an MVP finalist.
What a big turnaround that was. Browning punts away. QT on the return. And Kiki takes it out beyond the 35-yard line. Just when Orlando thought they were in business, Derek Roberson and that defensive line, and then the super challenge. And we'll be back after these messages and a word from your ABC station. UFL semifinals, game flow brought to you by Progressive.
Yeah, Jason Bean looks like a completely different quarterback. It started from the first drive, operating from the pocket, but then when he's at his most dangerous, making plays with his feet outside the pocket and on design quarterback runs. And then to close the half out, a couple big scramble plays where he led DC down. DC has not had a problem moving the football against Orlando, but the efficiency and the lack of turnovers have really been the difference this game for Jason Bean and this DC team.
Hey, X left Zach. X left Zach, lady, on one, ready?
Last week was his first start with DC. Jordan Ta'amu, who was the championship game MVP a year ago, had this team in great position. Out injured for the season. They turned to Bean very late. They traded for him mid-season from Louisville. And now a chance to advance to the United Bowl. As he slides down at about the 42-yard line. Jason Bean is still down on the turf.
Hey, warm up, Spence.
You hear them immediately say, all right, warm up, Spence. They're talking about Spencer Sanders, the Oklahoma State and Ole Miss quarterback, who now plays in the UFL.
And remember, Sanders started the Week 9 game against Orlando, but was primarily the third quarterback all year behind Ta'amu and Mike DeLillo, who was traded. Sliding, and you see
the defender comes down on his arm as he's sliding there.
Yeah.
So they're going to take Jason Bean to the medical tent, and Spencer Sanders comes in. Spencer Sanders started the May 22nd loss at Orlando. So they have Spencer Sanders. They also have the former Ivy League star, E.J. Perry, who has starting experience in the UFL at quarterback.
Ready?
So Sanders in on 2nd and 4. Deion Jackson on the carry. And 3rd and short from there.
And there's E.J. Perry, who was signed just a few weeks ago. Really only his 2nd full week with DC. Very experienced quarterback, started a handful of games for Memphis Showboats last year. More of a passer first, a mobile guy, but
right now they turn to Spencer Sanders, 3rd down and 1. Straight ahead goes Jackson. It's a great run by Deion Jackson. And a 1st down for the defenders.
Well, you got Jahari Branch, an extra offensive lineman, number 56 right here. Gets a block on a DB that allows Deion Jackson to get to the 2nd level. And that's going to be the game plan. The offense definitely changes with Spencer Sanders. They won't be taking the deep shots. He's mobile, but not as athletic as Jason Bean. They're going to want to run the football and lean on the ground game here.
Abram Smith, as he makes it inside the 35. Tom, what do you know about Jason Bean right now?
Yeah, guys, they're examining his left shoulder, his non-throwing shoulder. They're listing him as questionable right now, still under examination in the 10th. When he was coming off, you could tell he was holding it very gingerly. But whether it's a pain tolerance thing, if it's not his throwing shoulder, let's see where he's at once he emerges from the tent.
It was very clear to see that when he slid down at the end of that run, a defensive player came in and the body weight was on that left arm, upper arm towards the shoulder area, and immediately he was writhing in pain. Abram Smith, he can't find anywhere. Watch this injury, Jordan. You'll see what we're talking about. Everybody will see what we're talking about here at the end of this play.
Yeah, Bean doing the right thing, sliding to avoid big contact. But you're right. I think it's Mauga, number 43 there, that kind of just comes down. It doesn't look like big contact, but if the elbow was pinned into the ground, there's a lot of ways that can be real awkward for your shoulder. Kana'i Mauga, a great addition for Orlando. He's only been with them a couple weeks, now a starter. He's made a big impact the last 2 weeks.
3rd down and 6. Sanders. That ball's intercepted, and it is Mauga. All the way. We just showed you the replay of him knocking out the starting quarterback, and now he picked 6 returns against the backup. And all of a sudden, Orlando's right back in this.
And it goes without saying, but that is what you could not afford to do if you're Spencer Sanders. Jason Bean had protected the football so well through almost 3 entire quarters. This was the storyline last week for DC. Turnovers were their downfall, and they just opened the door for this Orlando team to get back in it.
How quickly things can change as Lance adds the extra point.
And it's just great awareness. Watch Mauga right here. He's going to sense something. He's going to sense Briley Moore is not really blocking him. He's going to feel screen, so he gets his eyes up, tracks the ball. And when Orlando needed it, it's a guy they signed on May 12th. A guy that hasn't played a ton of ball for them except for last week. Led the team in tackles. And Anthony Beck said he looked like Troy Polamalu's brother flying around. Really impressed with how he played last week. Earned the starting job this week. And that is the biggest play of the game for Orlando.
Last week he had 9 tackles, a TFL, 2 pass breakups. This week he comes up with the incredible pick 6 interception return touchdown. Tom?
Yeah, guys, as that play was transpiring, Jason Bean comes out of the tent. He will be going back in the game. He's got an AC wrap on his left shoulder. Expect to see him on this offensive series.
All right, so Jason Bean expected to come back in. In the one moment Spencer Sanders throws the ball, he gives up a pick 6.
And as that pick 6 was happening, Kana'i Mauga seemed to have injured his left leg. He's currently on the table. The trainers are looking at his left leg. He was an all-star from Hawaii, defensive player of the year when he was in high school, went to USC, played in the NFL, had that pick 6 that we just saw, had a forced fumble the first play of last week. Now he's getting looked at by the training staff.
And now special teams is firing off. So just a 4-point margin here with under 4 minutes to play in the 3rd.
And here's what to watch with Jason Bean. Obviously, it's your left shoulder, so it's not going to affect a righty throwing the football, but with how much zone read DC does, he has to have strong, firm control of that ball in a running back's belly to decide if he wants to pull it or not. They use him as a runner, so that shoulder will come into play in the run game more than anything. That's what you keep an eye on. Ball security through those zone reads.
Arizona, yes, yeah, Arizona. Shane Bradley, Yak. Come on, let's go in the game. Come
Come on, let's go win the game, is what he simply said as he's re-entered the game.
Love it.
And he's going to pass as soon as he comes back in. It's Valladay, the running back, who is run out at the 31-yard line.
And that's what this DC team found last week, is a sense of confidence. As soon as Jordan Ta'amu went down, the collective breath just escaped this team entirely. They needed somebody to show something. It was his legs last week, and his play today obviously has inspired a ton of confidence. This is the biggest drive of the game. Can DC weather the storm here after the interception?
Valladay, what a great run this is! All the way out to the 48-yard line before he's met by Jason Taylor.
And again, watch backside. You're going to have two guys with eyes on your mobile quarterback and nobody front side. That is the respect. The respect that Orlando has for his mobility just unlocks this ground game for the running backs.
18-yard run by Valladay. That is batted back. Chris Collins, 6'4" edge rusher, able to get his hands up.
You can tell Orlando's dialing up some pressure. That's a great job of Collins getting his eyes up, finding and tracing the throw. But Orlando's answer to Jason Bean has been blitz. Force fast decisions, plug up those escape lanes that he's been so good at finding.
Second down. Quick strike and complete. Kiki Cutie.
Texas right. Texas right. 72. Double one under.
72. Double one.
Alert.
72.
Alert. Linda. Alert. Linda.
Alert Linda. Hey, alert Linda. Alert Linda. No. You off the edge, 2-5.
Jason Bean right back in the game, and now driving his team down at it again is batted. This time it was on the right side, and that looked to be Darian Butler.
Another blitz, bringing a linebacker, getting hands up in the passing windows. Darian Butler's going to come right here. A little late to
23 duo
to be able to affect the quarterback, but does a great job of, for the second time in as many plays, or a couple plays, getting the hands up in the passing lanes.
Smith spins for an extra yard and a half. It'll be third down from the 33-yard line. Coming up on a minute to play here in the third quarter. The winner today, the semifinal game, goes on to the United Bowl, played in Washington, D.C. at the Defenders' home field, Audi Field. It'll be next Saturday on ABC, facing the winner of Louisville and St. Louis tonight. Could D.C. play for the championship on their home field? Third down and 5. Bean. Oh, they got it! It's Moore! Right into the end zone! Jason Bean shakes off the injury, comes right back into the game, and puts together a beautiful touchdown drive with Briley Moore on the reception.
And the same play that they almost had before half. Remember, I said how wide open Briley Moore was, but they had a false start penalty. They come back and run the same play. They flip it to the other side. And this time, no penalty, wipes it off the board. What an answer from Jason Bean, coming back from that injury, missing a drive, getting DC back on top.
What an incredible response after giving up the pick six as well, as Matt McCrane adds the extra point.
Well, watch the big boy right here. They're going to pull him, and that's going to take a second-level defender out of the way. And then it's one-on-one, Briley Moore and a safety. And 6'4", 260 pounds is going to win that matchup every time. Great throw by Jason Bean, too, off his back foot with pressure in his face.
As Moore gets it over Jason Taylor.
And I love that Fred Kais just put that play back in his pocket.
Yeah.
He said, hey, we had it. I know it got wiped off the board. Let's come back to it. And it paid off.
Yep. Bang, bang, bang. Yes, sir.
Shannon Harris knows. Shannon Harris can sense it. Great job by his quarterback, Jason Bean. Just his second start for DC. Jordan Ta'amu knocked out for the season. The star quarterback, Jason Bean, was traded. Played for Louisville earlier this season. This is his 5th game against Orlando just because of the scheduling quirk. He said a huge opportunity. And he's taken advantage of that opportunity. Knows the mistakes he made a week ago. Looks like a completely different quarterback this week. Only took a minute 37, 7 plays to go 75 yards. And a 33-yard touchdown to Briley Moore. Jashaun Corbin on the return now for Orlando. Of course, the UFL season concludes next weekend with the United Bowl, and it comes your way from Washington, D.C. Saturday right here on ABC. New champion will be crowned at Audi Field. Plus, global superstar 50 Cent performs live at halftime. Tickets are available at theufl.com. 50 Cent, the halftime performance at the 2026 United Bowl in Washington, D.C.
Like that wheel route.
Jack Plummer with time. Ball is batted and it falls harmlessly to the ground.
Yeah, Plummer just hasn't been comfortable for most of this game. The pass rush from Derek Roberson, Andre Mintz, and others have made him uncomfortable. He's had to hurry up into the pocket. He hasn't been able to be in rhythm for any of these throws. And I think that's why you're seeing a game that is unlike the MVP that we saw for the first 10 weeks of the season.
Well, those second half stats are a real struggle through an interception to open up the second half.
And Anthony Beck's got to find a way to help this pass protection, get his MVP quarterback back to the caliber he's used to seeing.
Can the number 4 seed DC Defenders hold on and find themselves playing for the UFL Championship on their home turf? End of 3 here in Daytona Beach as you're watching the UFL Playoffs on ABC. Well, the DC defense has done their job, holding Orlando to just 13 points as we start this semifinal 4th quarter.
Yeah, Jack Plummer has been under fire all game. The pass rush from Derek Roberson and Joe Wallace and Andre Mintz have made him uncomfortable and made him inefficient, which is not what we're used to seeing out of Jack Plummer. Just 1 sack, but it is the amount of times that Plummer has had to escape under pressure, step up in a hurry, not be in rhythm has led to those inaccurate passes that we've seen.
Now the best team in the league starts this 4th quarter trailing by 11. That is intercepted. That is Derek Roberson. Roberson is putting on a show today. Derek Roberson, who had a sack on 4th and goal, who has 8 sacks on the season, an MVP candidate, just opens up the 4th quarter with a dynamic play.
And having an MVP performance, it's going to be Casey Rogers right here that's going to come across the formation and get his hands up in the passing window. And Roberson, just great heads-up play. That one bounced and deflected right to him. Let's make sure he came down with it. Juggles it for a second. Oh.
Remember, it was ruled an interception on the field.
What's even more impressive
is the fact that is reviewing this play.
Look, I've got the nose of the ball touching the ground, and then when he rolls over, that ball's loose.
heard
yes,
what Dean
we're
said.
reviewing whether he caught the ball.
Hydrate. Hey, look, hydrate fast. You were coming like that, hydrate. I didn't know you were coming like that. Hydrate.
If
Yeah,
it
I've got
stands,
an
it's an
incomplete
interception by Roberson.
Yeah, I've got a far handheld, which is a great look at the ball on the ground, far handheld. And then as he rolls over, he still doesn't have control. You can see he's still trying to gain control. So, Chris, after further review, we have an incomplete pass. I'm going to give you the previous spot information. So we've got, we're going to go to the 24-yard line, right hash. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 from there.
The interception is going to be wiped out.
After review, the pass is incomplete. It's 3rd down.
Wow, a massive reversal there. It's the right call, though. Great job by Dean going over multiple looks there. And now a 3rd and long. And a chance for Orlando to try to grab the momentum back that was just captured by Roberson and DC. Boy, Chris Rowland has been very quiet this game. Just 2 receptions for 12 yards. And he came into this game with 163 yards and 2 touchdowns the last 2 games against DC. Right there in the slot.
Back on offense is Plummer. 3rd down and 10. He's trying to direct traffic, picks up a block. And in doing so, he will have a 1st down for Orlando.
And finally, they're going to get a double team here on Derek Roberson, which is going to create a soft edge, and Plummer is able to step up and escape. That might be the first time I've seen them double Roberson, and it led to that 1st down. Plummer was looking in Rowland's direction. Great coverage on the back end, and Derek Roberson now limping off the field on the sideline.
It's only the 2nd 3rd down conversion today for Orlando as a timeout is used by DC.
And this was the plan I thought they were going to have coming into the game from Jump Street. It just hasn't been the case, but allowing a tight end to block outside in on Derek Roberson as opposed to giving him space and freedom to work.
Just makes it difficult for a defensive end because when that tight end is lined up in that pocket position, like a little bit 2 yards outside of the tackle, you don't want to be too wide because you may never get to the quarterback, but if you're too tight, they'll be able to chip you. So it puts you into somewhat of a no man's land for a defensive end.
And shocking that was the first time that Orlando's gone to that, because that was something that Anthony Beck mentioned on Tuesday when we talked to him.
Off of the timeout by DC defensively. Back on the field. 14 minutes to play. Winner goes to the United Bowl to play for the championship next week in DC. Could it be the Defenders returning home to play for a championship? Jashaun Corbin with a good run out to midfield. Another 1st down for Orlando. Tom says that Roberson just dealing with a cramp. Ball at midfield. Best team in the league. Came in on a 4-game win streak, including 2 straight against DC. Needing to rally here in the 4th quarter. Plummer gets it complete. It is Rowland, and there is Chris Rowland, Jordan.
And this is a little bit of the game plan. I thought we would see tempo and empty formations. It allows Jack Plummer to kind of see the defense clearly, play point guard, find his one-on-one matchup, and that time Chris Rowland finally getting back involved.
12-yard reception for Chris Rowland. Former star for the DC Defenders. Here's Plummer backed up, trying to set up the screen. And if that's a completion, they're losing yardage. And it is the Jashaun Corbin, as DeAndre Baker was there with the tackle.
Boy, Baker, great job just staying home backside. Read that screen the whole way. The former 1st-round draft pick. I said that was one of the matchups to watch. And so far, DC's defenders, their secondary, has been winning the one-on-one matchups with this dynamic receiving group from Orlando.
You hear Anthony Beck saying they have to look at that because it's incomplete. He wants it to be incomplete, to not take the tackle for loss.
Previous spot's at 38.
Still left hash.
That is the case. Second and 10. Plummer, as he gets it up quickly on the slant to the 30-yard line. And again, he goes to Chris Rowland. Led the league in all-purpose yardage.
Down. Down.
They're down in 2.
Here we go. Tonight. 188. What's up?
Dotson straight ahead. Good surge by the offensive line. A first down for Orlando.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. Stun two lurk. Stun two lurk. Stun two lurk. Stun two lurk. Stun two lurk.
Plummer is going to have to throw this away. First game of the UFL semifinal Sunday. And the number 4 seed right now is up by 11. Later tonight, St. Louis and Louisville will battle at 6 p.m. on Fox. And then the winners next week, Saturday, June 13th, right here on ABC, the United Bowl in D.C. Second and 10. Plummer gets it out into space, and Corbin can't find anything there.
Orlando finally starting to find a little rhythm on this drive. This has got to be feeling a little scary for head coach Anthony Becht. Remember, was with St. Louis last year. They were 8-2, the number 1 seed, and they lost to DC in the first round of the playoffs. A game that everyone thought they shouldn't lose, and this one here, number 1 seed, now down to DC once again.
10. Plummer. He gets it complete inside the 10-yard line, and Orlando is in business with Cam Camper, who's been playing well lately.
Boy, this play takes so long to develop. Camper's going to be on a dig route, but Plummer is just waiting for him. Great throw off his back foot. And I love the tempo that Orlando's operating with.
They just say go down, and he's making injuries. No, they just say go down.
Right.
That's
All
the
right, I
second
got it.
time. Hey, that's the second time they've done that. Are you serious?
Jack Plummer upset, saying that DC is faking injuries, faking cramping to stall them out with their offensive rhythm.
The 2-point play, we got to have. All right? I know we're just foreshadowing for you, okay, as we're looking to take some time.
High drama here in the fourth quarter. The postseason underway, and we'll be back after these messages and a word from your ABC station.
Oh, we're back. We can clean up the fake injury or real injury. Sam Kidd, you see there, telling Brandon Smith to go down. Orlando having a lot of success with the tempo.
There's mics everywhere. There's mics everywhere. They said go down. Come on.
And Jack Plummer, rightfully so, was really hot about that.
He's right about the mics. There's one right below his chin.
Yeah.
Jack Plummer has had an incredible season, led this team to the number 1 seed. His regular season was 17 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Now here he is with 9.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, trying to advance to the United Bowl, and they're trailing by 11.
Illegal snap, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So you can understand the intense pressure and the way he's going about things right now and reacting.
Yeah, and they're trying to go hard count. And you see Cole Schneider there. That's what happens when you sit there for so long just waiting for that TV timeout. Get a little antsy.
180!
Corbin on the carry. Remember, this is 2nd and goal as they're backed up after the penalty.
Corbin's had a quiet night as well, this run game. Just 52 yards. They're going to win this one and get back in, and it's going to be on the right arm of Jack Plummer right here.
2nd and goal. Corbin again. Gets about a yard that time. So it'll be 3rd and goal. We come up on 9 minutes to play. Anthony Beck has put together a great roster from the start, managed a superb season, 8-2. And now having to manage things down the stretch here to rally and come back against DC, a team that they beat the last 2 weeks of the regular season. 3rd and goal. Plummer to the end zone, incomplete. He's looking for Elijah Badger.
And a lot of physical contact from Garyon Connolly there in tight coverage. Again, remember Connolly got a penalty earlier in the game in the red zone. And that's why I wish Anthony Beck would have kept his super challenge for late in the game. You just never know when you're going to need it. That one right there, if you challenge, you might have a good argument that could have been pass interference. You get a new opportunity inside the 5. Instead, you settle for 3.
Michael Lance comes on to attempt the short field goal, and he puts it through. So it's an 8-point margin with just over 8 minutes to play to determine who will play in the 2026 United Bowl. Play for the championship next week. Don't go anywhere. With an international soccer match and scheduling conflict. So they said, oh, we'll do it up at Columbus. They've got a good fan base there, a good stadium in the UFL. And then earlier this week, the league made a great decision to move it here to Daytona, where they've got a good fan base that made the trip over. But right now, those fans need to see if their team, if the top seed Orlando can rally back and make it to the United Bowl. Listen to this exchange between DC head coach Shannon Harris and his tight end.
It's going to be money. Butt ass nigga.
I want it, yeah.
But it's going to be butt ass nigga.
I know. Oh, yes. Because that statement's starting to come. Hey, we'll come. We got to get that again. Yep. Bang, bang, bang. Yes, sir.
Got it again. Briley Moore with the big touchdown reception here in the second half. Shannon Harris has managed things very well with the approach with the team this week, the way he went with the super challenge, coming back with that play call. And if they can hang on here, they are headed home to play on their home field for the championship. Chris Garrett with a good play defensively.
And a great start for this Orlando defense. If they're going to get back in this game, they got to do the one thing they haven't been able to do now for almost 12 quarters. Stop the run. Gave up 421 yards the first 2 games. Almost 150 yards on the ground so far today for DC. Orlando is going to find a way to force Jason Bean to be a pocket passer.
This is complete to Powell as he wrestles his way to the 45-yard line. The 3rd down from there. Briley Moore, who we just saw moments ago in that incredible access piece with his head coach, enters the game here with 7 minutes to play. A 3rd down and 5, and it's getting loud at Daytona Stadium. And a timeout is going to be used by Shannon Harris to talk things over with the defenders, offense, and quarterback Jason Bean. Let's take a look back at how we've arrived at this point.
Well, it started with DC marching right down the field to the tune of 2 back-to-back touchdowns that blew this game wide open. Abram Smith with the second one, and then Spencer Sanders filling in for the injured Jason Bean throws a pick 6 to Kanai Mauga, but then Bean back in the game finds Briley Moore on the play that they repeated, that they knew they were going to come back to, knew it was going to be wide open. Indeed, it was once again. And these two coaches, Anthony Becht on the right, Shannon Harris on the left, that know each other so well.
With the back springing. Receiver over here.
In another fourth quarter duel for the third straight week.
And last year, DC defeated Anthony Becht's that St. Louis team he was coaching in the conference championship on the way to winning the UFL championship. All right, a 3rd down and 5 for DC. Bean being chased. Bean going to use the legs and fly his way out of it for a first down.
Boy, we asked Jason Bean this week when we talked to him just about his speed. Ran a 10.35 in the 100 in high school. Didn't even really want to be a 100-meter guy, but they needed someone one of the days. Ran out there, no pun intended, enjoyed it. He was a 4.5 guy in college. And that has been the story of the game, his ability to make plays outside the pocket now in back-to-back weeks.
9-yard run on what was 3rd and 5 as he gets it to Briley Moore again. And now coming up on 6 minutes to play. Shannon Harris stressed all week long about the regular season being dead. It's over. This is the postseason. Everybody has the same record in the postseason, and they have bought in.
22 duo.
Well, this team legitimately looks like one that could make a championship run. They're obviously on it right now, on that run, but Jason Bean has injected some life into this team.
Abram Smith, as he moves ahead for a couple of yards, love it with the tackle. And keep in mind, Jason Bean, earlier in this second half, sliding at the end of a run, had a defensive player crash down on his left arm. He left this game in serious pain at a point. Was in the medical tent.
Ace left, 23 Boston, Tucson. 23 Boston, Tucson.
3rd and 7. Here's Bean. Downfield, overthrows the intended target, Ty Scott.
Boy, and here's the decision, right? You cross the 40, so you cannot punt. And they're going to send Matt McCrane out to attempt a 60-yard field goal,
And he's done it before. 2 times he's done it. And remember, that is a 4-point field goal in the UFL.
And that would make this a...
The ball's on the 42.
Yeah.
So by rule, this is a 4-point field goal. And he is going in the direction that the wind is helpful in. And pregame, he was hitting from long distance in this direction. This is a 4-point field goal attempt.
Drilled it.
He puts it through. Matt McCrane, a little more by way of 4. 28-16.
And that might have been good from 70. Little wind behind him in this direction, like you mentioned, Tess. He has missed now 3 field goals in the last 2 weeks, but this one right down the middle from 60.
By the way, we noted this earlier. He had great rotation on this ball. Great lift and rotation as you watch it. He was getting underneath the ball a little bit but when he struck it pure, he was sending it in this direction.
Yeah.
They knew all day long they had a 4-pointer in the bag if they could line it up for him.
Yeah, he made one from 66 in this direction. Good by 3 or 4 yards at least. That one, plenty of distance. So keep that in mind as Orlando is now headed against the wind. Obviously, they need touchdowns to get back in this game. Field goals are not going to help them out.
So how about that? One of the new rules in the league, and it comes into play here in the drama-filled final moments of this fourth quarter. A 4-point field goal to help DC with their margin to try to make it to the United Bowl back home on their home field.
Now remember, one of the other unique rules is you can do 3-point attempts after a touchdown. So Orlando could effectively get 9 points and then a field goal.
And not only that, you can retain possession by keeping your offense on the field and not going for a traditional onside kick, but rather a 4th and 12.
So a lot of ways that Orlando can fight and claw their way back into this one, but they don't have a ton of time. 4 minutes and 12 seconds. They do have all 3 timeouts to work with.
These are all the different ways that you can attempt to come back in the UFL.
Hey, here we go. Gun bunch right nasty. Wide surge.
A possession can be worth 9 points because of the 3-point conversion when the ball is placed on the 8-yard line. We just saw a 4-point field goal as well. And the onside kick, the unique 4th and 12 from your offense. But can Jack Plummer even put them in position? Let's find out together. He gets it complete here to Hamler.
That's a great start, but once again, Jack Plummer has to navigate the pass rush from Derek Roberson to deliver that ball.
Plummer gonna hook up again and connect with Chris Rowland. And that's another first down. So Plummer and Orlando wasting no time trying to rally back here. The #1 seed, the best team all season long. And there is an injured DC player, and it's Derek Parrish, who has the medical team out to check on him at the 30-yard line. Consider what this DC team has been the last 4 weeks. Having lost 4 straight. Dealing with the changes at quarterback. Having lost back-to-back games to Orlando. And to come out and play this well in this spot on the road against the best team in the league. Give credit to Shannon Harris, but right now his defense is trying to tame Jack Plummer, the front runner to be MVP in the league this year. Plummer out of the backfield is Dotson. And Dotson will scoot out of bounds. It's another first down for the Storm.
Pop right, pop right, pop right.
Boy, and DC playing very soft coverage. That's a departure from who they've been for the entire game. A lot of man coverage, a lot of press. Really worried about that explosive play from Orlando. Look at all the distance the corners are giving receivers.
Plummer steps up. Downfield, he wants every bit of it. Touchdown, Chris Rowland.
Boy, watch Kai Gray playing middle field right here. He's going to have his eyes on Plummer. He's going to lose track of Chris Rowland as he's watching Plummer. And that is a great job by Chris Rowland. That ball got away from Plummer a little bit. Rowland tracked it down and made the catch. Boy, but I mentioned the soft coverage. DC is just not really a zone team. It's not their bread and butter.
A 3-point conversion attempt from the 8-yard line. And this to try to cut it to 3, going for 3. Plummer, low snap, 3-point conversion attempt is incomplete. So Shannon Harris and the DC defenders maintain a 6-point margin. Bryce Thompson had coverage on Elijah Badger.
It was just not good from the start with the low snap. That hurried Jack Plummer a little bit. Kind of caused a inaccurate throw there. Because if that ball's outside, that was Badger, wasn't it? Badger definitely had a step on Bryce Thompson. But either way, we got a 6-point game.
Faithful TC fans who have made the trip down here to Daytona Beach, Florida, Could they be 3 minutes and 2 seconds away from returning home to Audi Field, where they have that outrageous atmosphere? Some of the best fans in the league, the Beer Snake. Could they be playing for a championship? The defending champions could be heading home to try to repeat.
Hey, 13, protect the ball, 24.
I know someone on our crew who'd be excited about the Beer Snake.
Tom is well hydrated this week.
Yeah, from last week, it's a holdover.
For those of you that didn't watch, our trusted sideline analyst Tom Luginbill got up in the DC crowd and partook in the Beer Snake festivities. One of the best scenes in all of the UFL. I can't wait for that game.
Will it be Orlando, or will it be the hometown team playing on their turf for a championship? A 40-yard touchdown reception by Chris Rowland moments ago has really made things interesting. Valladay, flag is down as the struggle with the return there. And you can hear the reaction from the Orlando fans here in Daytona Beach.
Legal block in the back. Return team during the return, number 4.
Okay, Reno, 10 to the 5.
The number, please.
Number 4.
During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 4. Half the distance to the goal, it's 1st and 10.
Abram Smith there with the block in the back, but the miscommunication between both returners led to the late start on that one. And bad field position for DC. Remember, Orlando, all 3 timeouts. Jason Bean making just his 2nd start for the DC Defenders. Started the year with the Louisville Kings. Was traded, has been a backup since. And now needs a drive here to try to put this away.
Valladay is forced to try to keep it on the ground here. Orlando with 3 timeouts remaining. Isaiah Buggs with the tackle.
Tell you what, you can't overstate field position here because of the kicking game rules in the UFL. Rarely do you see poor field position coming off of a kick return.
And remember last week, DC got a punt blocked in this very similar situation.
All right, they got a timeout.
So an important couple plays for Shannon Harris in this offense to try to get some breathing room at the very least for a punt.
Under 2 minutes, right?
So a timeout used by Anthony Beck. We'll listen in to both coaches.
The ball set. Right, okay. The only thing is I got to see where the ball's going, so I'll look at you.
I think it's a very smart timeout from Beck. A lot of people think, well, you got the 2-minute warning. Maybe you use those a little bit later. Use those ahead of the 2-minute warning. In my opinion, is always the best play, especially after a big negative.
Boy, it is loud here right now. Daytona Stadium. On short notice, they moved the game here. And will it now pay off with a defensive stop? They tried to pass it. For a moment, it looked like perhaps they would get it. But now it's going to set up a 3rd and 10.
Guys, I'm standing right behind the offense. If he gives that ball, they're rolling.
Yeah, that's an RPO decision from Jason Bean. It also allows Orlando to save a timeout with the incompletion.
No, I called it before 30.
Every right. Okay. That's the height.
47 rock. 3rd down. Gotcha, okay. Hey!
3rd down and 10.
So in the NFL,
I like Lasso.
So in the NFL,
Get Jahari out. Hey, just pin the edge for it. Get Jahari out.
It stops, right? Yeah.
Hey, flex.
So Orlando did have to use a timeout there.
Hey, give it to him.
Outside of 2 minutes, the clock will run, even on an incompletion. is on Jason Bean if you're on the second level for Orlando.
3rd down and 10. Bean from his own end zone, and he connects. Eric Azumkama.
What a throw.
What are you looking at?
From Jason Bean. And a big hit on Jason Bean after he releases it. Little shove there from Keyshawn Banks.
Jason Bean has come up huge in some very big spots today.
Blade.
2 timeouts were exhausted by Orlando. And then the conversion for the 1st down. And now Abram Smith takes it ahead.
Hey, ho.
The 2-minute warning has arrived. Shannon Harris is trying to get them home. Well, the officials are going to reset this clock with the Orlando timeout being used. They're going to put 2:09 on, as the timeout was utilized by Anthony Beck.
Okay.
Chris. Hey, Chris. Chris.
Hey, B.
There's a good chance that Orlando, with that 2-minute warning, will still have a chance to get the ball back.
Go get the 1st down.
With around a minute or so left, if they do. But if they don't stop DC, it's over.
Flex right, Roger. Flex right, Roger.
What a difference a week makes for Jason Bean. Abram Smith. And that will move the chains. The 1st down earned by DC. And we will be back after these messages and a word from your ABC station. It has been a hard-fought afternoon between DC and Shannon Harris on the left, and the #1 seed Anthony Beck and Orlando on the right.
We can stop the clock on a play. We have
Kenny.
And DC closing in on returning home to play for the championship. The 2026 United Bowl is being played at Audi Field in DC. And they're doing it with Jason Bean at quarterback, who was traded midseason from Louisville. Jordan Ta'amu was the starter, but he was injured and out for the season. Jason Bean, who lost the last game of the regular season last week to Orlando, was injured, knocked out of the game today, courageously came back, dealing with the pain, and just managing things beautifully down the stretch here, Jordan.
They look like a championship caliber team with how Jason Bean has played today. It hasn't just been running around doing it with his legs. He has been an efficient passer. Even in some of the biggest moments, like that 3rd down earlier on this drive.
As Smith takes it ahead and spins. There's so many big moments in this game. Give credit to Shannon Harris, the head coach, for the super challenge that wiped out a 60-yard touchdown for Orlando. A holding call nullified what would have been a 60-yard touchdown at one point in this game. DC fans who have traveled to this road playoff game here in Daytona are going to be heading home to the Beer Snake. As Smith just holds on to that football, maintains control, and Shannon Harris, who told us this week, it's the postseason. The regular season is dead. Forget the fact that we lost 4 straight games, that we lost to Orlando back-to-back. It's a whole new season, a championship season. He coached beautifully today.
Unbelievable job by not just Shannon Harris and Fred Kais on the offensive side, but Blake Williams on the defensive side, slowing down the presumptive league MVP quarterback Jack Plummer, who had one of his worst games and most frustrating games. Credit to Blake Williams and credit to Shannon Harris and the offensive staff. Did a marvelous job putting this game plan together for Jason Bean in just his second start. We talked about how difficult it is to beat a team 2 times in a row, let alone 3 times in a row. It was probably a benefit that Jason Bean didn't play all 3. They only had one game to break down last week where Bean didn't really throw the football well. They were worried about his legs, and it was his arm that was the difference today that put the dagger in this Orlando Storm team.
Boy, it is tough to take for Anthony Beck. He has coached so well in the regular season in pro football.
Seriously, an unbelievable leader, bro. You deserve a shot,
Wraps
man.
his arms around Chris Rowland.
I really do.
This was the best team in the league, Anthony Beck's team, Orlando. But for 2 seasons in a row now, number 4 seed DC Defenders go on the road and beat the number 1 seed to advance to the championship game. And that is how they do it. Jason Bean and the DC Defenders are headed home to play for the championship. They advance to the 2026 United Bowl at Audi Field next Saturday right here on ABC. We will wait to see what happens tonight with Louisville, Bean's old team, and St. Louis. As Anthony Beck awaits the handshake with Coach Shannon Harris. The hat is on. The United Bowl is what they're headed to.
I got it.
Well, Coach, I tell you what, 3rd time was a charm, as we talked about before the game kicked off. And now you get to go back home and play for another championship. How did this come to be after 3 consecutive games against the same opponent?
Well, these guys, it's all about their grit, their mindset. When we push it back against the wall, we circle the wagons, and we all come together and do it the right way, you know? We never panic in those situations. We just knew we had to get back to the drawing board, play disciplined DC football, and do it the right way, and the outcome.
How big of a deal is it getting to play at home?
It's huge, man. It takes me back to Tampa Bay Bucks, right? In 2000, those guys played, Tom Brady and those guys, man. So we owe it to our fans. We talked about it that we didn't get the last one at home for our fans. But I told him, I said, man, Guy had a bigger plan to get it for our fans for a championship. And that's how it worked out. To God be the glory.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tess?
And now we will see who they will play for the championship. The semifinal number 2 in the UFL. Louisville and St. Louis is over on Fox Sports. For Jordan Rogers, Tom Luginbill, Sam Acho, and our outstanding crew led by Bill Bonnell and Aladdin Freeman. I'm Joe Tessitore. So long from Daytona Beach. Now except on the West Coast. Stay tuned for your local news over most of these ABC stations. We'll see you next Saturday on the 13th for United Bowl 2026 from Washington, D.C. with D.C. in it. 3 p.m.